All right, today we're diving into something that's been around for, well, millennia, and it touches the very core of what it means to be well. We're talking about spiritual healing. It's got these incredibly deep historical roots, but what's fascinating is how it's finding this surprising new relevance in our modern world. You know, to really get our heads in the right space for this, I love this quote from Caroline Myss. The soul always knows what to do to heal itself. The challenge is to silence the mind. This just perfectly sets the stage, right? It frames spiritual healing not as something that just happens to you, but as this journey you take inward.
So think about this for a second. Can healing really happen from a distance, just with a focused thought, or does it absolutely require the physical touch of a hand? These are the kind of fundamental questions right at the heart of everything we're about to explore.
Now, for ages, all these different practices have gone by the name spiritual healing. Today, you'll often hear them classified as a form of complementary and alternative medicine, or CAM for short. And that word, complementary, is so important here. It means these methods are meant to be used alongside conventional medical treatments, not as a replacement for them. Okay, so to really get a grip on this, let's start with the basics. What are the core concepts we're actually talking about? At its most basic level, spiritual healing is this big umbrella term. It covers all these practices that are about using some kind of spiritual or divine energy to boost well-being. And we're not just talking about the physical body here. It's totally holistic. It's about the body, the mind, and the spirit, the whole package. The person who actually facilitates this process, they're often called a healing medium. This term got really popular back around 1948 with the modern spiritualism movement. The whole idea is that the practitioner isn't the source of the energy. Nope, they're acting more like a conduit, a channel, guiding that energy from a spiritual source to the person receiving it.
And this idea of a healing conduit, it's definitely not new. To really see how these concepts have played out over time, let's take a look at a few key figures from history. So, if you boil it down, spiritual healing methods tend to fall into two main camps. First, you've got hands-on healing. This is exactly what it sounds like. It involves physical touch or being really close to channel energy. And then you have distant healing, where the healer and the person they're helping can be in totally different places, relying completely on thought and intention. A really great example of someone who did both is Harry Edwards. He was a famous British spiritual healer in the 20th century. I mean, this guy held huge public healing events, sometimes for thousands of people. He believed he was channeling energy to help the body find its natural balance again, and it didn't matter if he was placing his hands right on someone or focusing on them from miles away. But this idea of distant healing goes way, way back. This quote from the Gospel of Matthew is just a perfect illustration. You have a Roman centurion asking Jesus to heal his servant, but he says, "You don't even have to come to my house." He says, "Just say the word, and my servant shall be healed." It's just this incredible statement about the power of belief in healing through faith and intention alone, no physical contact needed. And history is just packed with these really intriguing, sometimes unexplainable stories. Like, there's the account of healer Dr. Olga Worrall, where a line of light supposedly just appeared on an X-ray film during one of her sessions. Or Dr. Eric Pearl, a chiropractor who came up with reconnective healing because his patients started reporting these spontaneous healings when all he did was hold his hands near them. It's stories like these that really highlight the mystery at the core of all this. Okay, so we've talked about the people and the methods, but what exactly is this energy or force that they believe they're tapping into? Well, if you look across all the historical and biblical accounts, one thing keeps popping up as absolutely essential: faith. In so many of these stories, the healing is directly connected to the faith of the person receiving it. It's almost like faith is the key that unlocks the whole thing. What's so cool is when you see how different traditions all seem to be talking about a similar concept. Whether you call it virtue, like in the Bible, prana in Sanskrit, qi in Chinese philosophy, or even the more modern scientific term biofield, they all seem to point to some kind of universal life force. So, what is the common thread here? What links all these different names and traditions together? Well, they all describe a vital, life-giving energy. Practitioners believe this universal force can be channeled to help bring back balance and promote that sense of well-being. And again, the crucial idea is that the healer isn't making this energy up. They are just acting as the pipeline for it. Okay, so how does this all look for a spiritual healer practicing today? It's not just about having some kind of innate gift. There's a real path of development and a very strict set of principles they have to follow.
Yeah, becoming a healer is a serious undertaking. It really starts with self-exploration. You have to address your own healing journey first. Then you get into education and training in different methods. After that, it's all about constant practice to sharpen your skills and learn to trust your intuition. And maybe most importantly, it involves a deep, deep understanding of ethics and professional integrity.
And that brings us to a really crucial point. Modern practice is often highly regulated. For instance, practitioners with organizations like the Independent Spiritualist Association have to follow some very strict rules. They have a strict no-touch policy. They are absolutely forbidden from diagnosing any conditions or prescribing anything. I mean, not even something as simple as drink more water. And of course, everything is completely confidential, just like medical privacy rules.
Beyond all the rules, the number one focus for a healer during a session is just being completely present. The goal is to be totally in the now, with zero distractions, no mind wandering. It's believed that this intense focus is what allows them to be the clearest possible channel for that healing energy to flow through. So, why does any of this matter today? I mean, what's the role of spiritual healing in our crazy, fast-paced modern world? Well, it actually fits right into this much bigger conversation that's happening everywhere about holistic well-being. More and more people are looking for approaches that treat the whole person, mind, body, and spirit, instead of just a list of symptoms. And really, this is the big takeaway. No matter what you personally believe, these practices challenge all of us to at least consider the powerful role that things like faith, intention, and our own personal energy might play in our overall health. So in the end, whether it's fueled by religious faith or some kind of universal biofield, or maybe just the untapped power of our own minds, the study of spiritual healing really leaves us with this one profound question to think about. Where does the power to heal truly reside? Thanks for joining me on this one.